For years, prisons in California have been overcrowded, creating an unsafe and unhealthy environment. In fact, the overcrowded conditions led to a ruling by the United States Supreme Court, which required California to reduce its prison population, resulting in something referred to as realignment. In effect, the state relinquishes its jurisdiction over certain prisoners and turns them over to local probation. So what's been the impact for the Marin County Probation Department?
The people that are being released, and I should note that they are not being released from prison a day earlier than they are scheduled to be released.
They're not being released in a bus load onto the streets with a good luck, show up every once in a while, and we hope it works out okay.
The people being released to the probation departments are people falling under a criteria, both men and women.
They're not the worst, they're not the most dangerous. They're the three nons is a term you'll hear. It's the non-serious, non-violent, non-sex offenders.
Those people will be released under the jurisdiction of the chief probation officer for supervision.
If someone is deemed a violent, serious felon or a high-risk sex offender, they will not come out on our program.
In the old days, prior to realignment, people were given what's called gate money and $200, and they were told to report to their state parole agent within 48 hours. Mysteriously, some of those people never showed, and their $200 went to something typically illegal, and that's a real big problem. What Marin County Probation Department is doing, if the person being released from prison is within a 4-hour radius, we will drive all the way to the prison and pick that person up personally, put them in our car, and transport them back home. And so in the interim, our probation officers will have a long conversation with that person about expectations, and we will also listen to them about what support do they need.
We help them link into public benefits early on, so they're not out in the community without some food or a place to stay. Our department's made a commitment that people won't be on the streets, so if we have to help find housing, provide short-term housing, we've done that.
Of course, the housing and the food and the basics need to be taken care of, but we will also work with their mental health issues, drug and alcohol issues.
We have a dedicated psychologist to do an assessment on their psychological and mental health needs.
If there's any employment services, general assistance services, to navigate those types of things on their own would be very difficult for the most well put together person.
Once we get a snapshot of where their needs are and then what their motivation is, what they will kind of build off of, that's when we put together a final case plan in conjunction with each offender.
We really try to blanket these folks with as much support and services as possible and give them a well mapped out plan so they're successful into the future.
One of the evidence-based principles on reducing recidivism is time structure. Don't let the people come out and just kind of tell them good luck and here's some appointments and good luck in the community. Tell them where they need to be for a period of time. You should go here and here and here, structure their time so it's not back on maybe in the community kind of, well, I didn't have a lot to do so I went and saw my old friends. So we try to structure their time on the things that are going to get them the resources they need now.
There has not been a significant increase in crime throughout Marin, and the jail is at its all-time low. We are very satisfied that we are supplying adequate linkages to services with the folks that we are now being in charge of supervising.
I think things in Marin County as related to realignment are close to a best case scenario, and we've become a model for a lot of other departments. The offenders are being supervised, so public safety is being acknowledged right away. And then they're given a chance to do the things that will keep them out of the criminal justice system.
Not only is realignment historic, but it's finally been a recognition by the legislature to finally fund adult services. All the typical funding for probation went into juveniles. And within the last 4 years, there has been a push to fund adult services. And with adult services comes recognition of programs, and that programs can work. And if you fund probation properly, probation works.